Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to add on to the last message that I uploaded last week. I was in prayer and I was, thankful for everything that God was sharing with me and encouraging me and all these things. But I had a moment where I was just telling God, I am very grateful and honored that you would do these things for me. But I also know that if you were not to do this, I know that my main happiness, my main source of just being here is just the joy and knowing that God is in my life, and that if it was just Him and me, I would be okay. As long as I know that He's with me and I know He would take care of me, that's all I need to be happy, and I'm content with that. But I was just, speaking to God about this and, being grateful, but at the same time, just wanting to remain humble and, remind myself what the whole point of everything is, allow God to keep me grounded. And I just remember Him just saying, see, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted right there. And I felt this peace come over me. And it's almost like He was reminding me about what I read when Abraham was asked to give Isaac back, to sacrifice him. Like, people back in those days, it was normal for them. But for Abraham, he was willing to give back that promise. And, it was just a test. Of course, God would not, ask that. But he sent the angel and he says, don't do it. It was just a test. But knowing that you were willing to give it back, then that speaks volumes. And he was showing me that instead of Isaac, in Genesis 22 verses 13, it says, then Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and there behind him was a ram caught in a thicket by its thorns. So Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up as a burnt offering instead of his son. So if you look up the definition of a ram, it's a mature male sheep. Okay, so in this, guy was sharing with me that this is a level of maturity when you come to the realization that you could desire all these things, you can want all these things, but that deep down inside, God is number one. God will always stay number one. And I think a lot of the times we get forgetful of that. We get so caught up in the mission. We get so caught up in our the career or whatever God has blessed us with, and we forget. So he was saying, this was a big deal. It was a big level that Abraham had achieved, knowing that no matter how much God blessed him, he knew his foundation and he was not moved. And so remembering that when you get the promise that God is always number one and will always be number one. Everything is temporary and God is not. So just to keep your focus on what matters. And, he was telling me, I want to make sure that what I'm blessing you with, you're going to have, but that blessing is not going to have you. He wants to make sure that those blessings do not become idols. And so knowing that even if you didn't get what you wanted, not saying that he's not, but just knowing that you would be okay, just knowing that God is with you and you know, your relationship is what really matters and what will keep you content and happy. You know, I think that's what God mainly wanted to share. So anyways, thank you for listening. God bless.